Hi everybody, welcome to Sprague Woodturning. My name is Jim. This is going to be the third video in the new workshop build series. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this series. And of course, this is just bonus content for my channel. So please leave a comment down below and certainly hit that like button if you enjoy the content. And yeah, I'm not going to spoil it, but you know, Mother Nature hasn't been all that kind to us in this video. All right, without further ado, this is the third video in the new workshop build series. Enjoy. All right, we have lots of activity today. Merlin's here carrying on with flattening out the ground here, and he's also got a loader moving that topsoil over there out of the way. Now, I don't know what happened to the audio yesterday, but they got both of the long walls done on the shop, and the end walls were built but we're laying down on the slab. Anyway, I shot a whole bunch of video yesterday, but there's no audio with it, so I don't know what's going on there. Hopefully this works. But anyway, they're just flying right along on the shop. By the end of the day, it basically should be all closed in, and he might even be doing trusses tomorrow. Gonna bring a crane in to do that. But anyway, lots of activity. One of the problems we're going to have is if the ground does freeze up, that little bulldozer probably won't be able to do much more. So, you know, if we can just kind of get a lot of this all done and flattened this year, then that will certainly help us for next year. One thing that we didn't want to do is mix the topsoil in with this gravel that we're laying down. So that's why it's being moved. It's being piled over on the other side where that other big pile was. And then, like I said earlier, we'll use that to top dress this. Well, I don't know if I said that earlier or not, but anyway, it will be used for top dressing. I should mention that it is actually Tuesday. All right, so I guess I'll do this again. Obviously, this is going to be the garage door. There's going to be a bank of 3 windows here, and of course a single window over there. That's where you're basically going to walk into the workshop. There is going to be a showroom here slash packing room slash utility room. Then of course the bathroom is going to be right here, and then casting room, and then there's going to be a room for the AC dust collector, and now the furnace. We'll have to sort that out as we go here. Yeah, amazing progress. 2 days. Fantastic. Nice LVL above for a header, so that's good. Yeah, the crane will be here tomorrow to put the trusses on. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to film any of that. Well, yeah, I mean, I couldn't be more pleased with the progress that there is right now. Wow. You know, the end of the week, you know, the weather again is not going to be good for us. So we're expecting some rain and snow overnight and tomorrow, or maybe it's just tomorrow. So I don't know, it's going to be, it's not going to be a good day to set trusses, but anyway, it's on. The crane will be here tomorrow. So that's absolutely fantastic. And the end of the week, yeah, maybe the roof will be on it. Well, it would anyway. It certainly won't have the shingles on it yet. Those supports are for the trusses. They lean the trusses up against them if you're curious what's going on there. Half-inch OSB on the outside. Pretty standard in the building world here. Let's take a walk down the hill here and have a look at our beautiful sunset. Anyway, let's have a walk down the hill here and I'll show you what Merlin got done today. Now I know the depth perception here on the GoPro and the fact that we're losing light is probably not going to be all that great for you, but yeah, I'd say that we're easily halfway down to where we need to be down here. So, you know, just rough grading is really all we're after. There's some more piles here that are going to be all leveled out, but yeah, I mean, it's going to give us a really nice look, I think. Yeah, we're spending some money on it. Running this bulldozer and that excavator is it's pretty painful. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty painful, but I think that this is the right decision to do, to spend the money now. And then next year when the house goes in, and I know that there's probably some people that don't even realize that he wasn't able to do the house this year, only the workshop. So the house will go in next year, and the more dirt work that we can get done this year, the more it's going to settle out. And then next year, when the final kind of grading is done, it should actually be nicer. So that's one of the reasons for doing that this year. Plus the equipment is on site, so as long as the equipment is on site and they don't have to bring it in, then that's going to be a savings as well. Every time you move a piece of equipment, you get charged a float fee. I don't know if you realize that or not, but I don't know what the float fee is now, but anyway, the less float fees, the better. Anyway, that's what she looks like. I'll keep you updated as we go, but I'm hoping that if everything goes good tomorrow, all the trusses should be up on the workshop, and I don't know how much sheeting they'll get on it, but they should be able to do some sheeting too, and that's of course all weather permitting. So anyway, talking tomorrow. And just like that, the end of day 3 of framing, all the trusses are up, and I see that they've started a course along here. So there was a crane here today. That is by far the quick and easiest way to do this kind of construction. I should mention that everything is going to be 2x6 construction. I believe any insulated structure in Canada, dwelling, needs to be 2x6. And of course, this is not, you know, a dwelling. But the thing is, I'm going to have to heat this. So if I'm going to have to heat this, I definitely want 2x6 walls in here, not 2x4, which would be the norm for, a, you know, just a garage that you want to park your vehicles in. Yeah. I don't even think if it's attached to the house, it doesn't have to be insulated. So, but in this case, I definitely want it insulated because I don't want to be spending a fortune on hydro to do so. Wow, I mean, it's just, it really starting to look like a building now, you know. Nice, beautiful sky today. I believe this morning was minus 13 Celsius. So not a pleasant morning, but at least it was in the sun. It wasn't too bad, but I don't think that it got above zero all day. So, you know, that's a tough day working out in that cold all day. Merlin didn't show up today, and I believe the reason for that is because the ground is frozen. So we're supposed to be getting some warmer temperatures, and that sunset. And when hopefully if things warm up, he'll be back and continue on with the dozer work down over the hill. But yeah, I mean, it is amazing how fast structures go up now with especially with the use of a crane. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's really starting to feel like a workshop, that's for sure. You'll probably notice that there's no insulation under the slab. Again, it's not important to me. This is not really, it's not a dwelling. This is a workshop that's going to have the heat probably on at about I don't know, 65 degrees. That's typically what I like to leave the heat at. I don't like it any hotter than that when I'm working, maybe even less than that. So there's really no, I'm not concerned about that at all. What else? Yeah, the floor. Yeah, you can see where the tarp was laying on here. Here's the wall that was fixed. Well, the wall that they had to cut out and then do another pour. So that doesn't look too bad. Not exactly ecstatic about this little channel that's here where the wood was. You know, it's a workshop, people. It's not the Taj Mahal, it's a workshop. So, you know, I'm just really happy to see the structure go up. All right, well, that's your update for Wednesday. It is supposed to rain tomorrow, snow, you know, just your typical building site here in Canada. That's what it seems to be, where we are anyway. So I don't know if it's a light snow, they may come here and work, but it's like I said earlier, you know, once wood gets snow on it, it is slick, and I mean slick. It really is. So anyway, I don't know if they'll be here tomorrow. If not, hopefully Friday. And I don't know how much of the roof they can get done in a day, to be honest with you. It's they do have their staging all set up outside here, so you know, it's that's certainly a bonus. It's the whole length of the workshop. All right, I'll leave you that sunset. We'll see you probably, hopefully on Friday. Maybe tomorrow too. So I'll address some comments from the last video while we're waiting. One of the big ones was epoxy floor. Am I going to do an epoxy floor to basically fix the floor that's in there? And the answer to that is no, I'm not. Can you imagine spending whatever it would cost? Yeah, I've got a great sponsor. It may not even cost me anything, but it's going to cost me a ton of labor to do so. And the first time you drag or need to move a piece of machinery and you scratch that floor, well, I don't know about you, I'm going to be rather upset over it. So I think that it's more realistic to do the rooms, the showroom where you first walk into the shop, the bathroom, especially since there's a piece of that framing that was there for when they had to cut out that section of wall. It's now kind of left a little mark on the floor. Fill that in with the epoxy. I wouldn't even think about doing epoxy floors in this for a good solid 2 months after the heat goes into it. Concrete something like 36 days to cure, but right now, you'll see when I take you in there, the snow is covered, the floor is covered in snow and ice. So, you know, yeah, before you put any epoxy down, you certainly would have to wait for those floors to be dry, that's for sure. So, in short, I just can't imagine doing an epoxy floor in there and then just dragging some machinery across it and gouging it, and I just, no. I'm not going to do that, not for the main floor. But like I said, the smaller rooms, I do see that as an option. For the rest of the floor, we're going to polish it. So the other question is insulation under the slab. This is another one. So this is now the third workshop I've built, and we've built 2 houses as well. And none of them have had rigid foam insulation underneath the slab. Now, one of the problems that we've got is, so here's your slab, and here's your foundation wall. The slab touches the foundation wall. So if you don't have it insulated on the outside, well, the cold is going to transmit right through that, through the frost wall and into the slab. So, you know, I don't really, the only way to correct that, of course, would be to put insulation on the outside and all the way up to the sheeting, and then bury this. And I want some standoff. I'll call it standoff. I don't want the ground to be right to the bottom of the sole plate on the workshop, because, you know, you just run the risk of rotting things out. So, you know, to do, say, a 2-inch rigid foam underneath that floor in there, you're probably looking at close to $4,000 Canadian to do so. So, you know, and in order to do that, you would also have to insulate all around the outside of the foundation wall so that you don't get that cold transferring from the wall to the slab. So that's why there's no rigid insulation under the floor. Like I said, I haven't had it in the 5 structures that I put up to date so far. The other one is when it came to digging out the hole and putting the frost wall in, I know that there were some comments about, well, why didn't they just dig a trench all the way around and then do the footings and then do the wall? And, you know, I don't really have a concrete answer for that. I know that, again, the other structures that I put up, it was not done that way. I don't know if it's just easier to build that way, to just dig out the entire foundation, set your footings. You've got a nice flat surface to be working from. I don't really know if I can talk to David, I'll see what his thoughts are on that. But so yeah, I don't really have an answer on that, but I'll try and get you one, and we'll try and incorporate that into this video or next video. All right, so I had a chance to talk to our builder, and I asked him about why they didn't do any trenching for the footings and for the foundation. And he said that the problem with doing it that way, and, you know, he said there's still a lot of people that do it that way, and actually there's been a few people that commented that said, you know, that that's the way that they do it. The problem is, here it probably wouldn't be such a bad thing because all of the materials that are being backfilled with, they're all the same. So if you trench something and then you put your footings in and then your frost wall, then the undisturbed soil that's in the center, so this is your slab, so in the center this is going to be all undisturbed soil, and the thought process is that it's going to basically, you've got dissimilar materials that may shrink at different rates. Well, I mean, after they're compacted they shouldn't shrink, but, you know, if it doesn't get compacted properly, then you could get and David said that you've seen some pretty big cracks in slabs and that's what it was. They were trenched and then backfilled, and then there was issues with them. So take all the material out, put it all back in, compact it all the same, and in theory you shouldn't have any issues with the slab. Now, I'm sure that we could have trenched it and then put a pile of rebar in it, but if you've seen the cost of steel and rebar these days, no thanks. I'll probably, you look at what you'd put in there, man, it'd be pretty expensive. So anyway, that's the reason why they dug out the whole structure. And you know, David makes a valid point that really they only dug out about 2 feet. They didn't really, because there's been a lot of backfilling for the foundation. So you know, that's another thing too. So look at it that way. We didn't go down 4 feet deep all the way around. It was really only a couple of feet, and still look at all the compacting that had to be done. So anyway, that is the answer to that question. I know that some people may not agree with that, and hey, that's just the way that different builders do different things, and I don't have an issue with the way it was done. Anyway, now you know. All right, as you can see, we got some more white stuff, 6 to 8 inches. I think the last time I talked to you was on Thursday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, I think. And a lot has happened since then. Yeah, the roof is on. They've got a row of ice and water shield at the very bottom here, and as you can see, also all the outside sheeting is done as well, so that's awesome. Yeah, today is Monday. If you're curious, I don't know if we're going to be able to I shouldn't say I don't know if we're going to be able to get any more dozer work done or not, because in 2 days it's supposed to be plus 10 and we're supposed to get an inch of rain, 25 millimeters of rain. So, and it's supposed to be warm for 2 days, so I'm hoping that all this is going to melt, and then Merlin will be able to get back in the dozer and carry on with this. I believe we've been doing it, well, not we, they have been doing this without power, and so I think that that's going to be coming in maybe late this week. Anyway, they'll be here to mark it out, so finally that's taken quite some time to do as well. I'll take you inside the structure. It's a little dark in there, but we'll see what we can see anyway. Yeah. I don't know if that's going to help much or not. Anyway, there is a lot of snow in here, and so we had a snowstorm. We've had 2 snowstorms since I talked to you last. Snowstorm on Friday, and then one yesterday. So that's why there's so much snow in here. They managed to get one side of the roof on, and then the snow came in now. So anyway, we've got to try and get rid of, shovel this out, and then when I'm hoping I'm hoping that it gets warm enough that it melts all the ice in here, and we'll be able to get that out of here, because it's, now that we've got the roof on, we should be able to do that. So yeah, there's the front. You see the dormer on the front there. Yeah, it's nice. Everything is for the most part weather tight, so when it does rain, we shouldn't get any rain inside of the workshop. That's the hope. Let me see. I'm going to go on the other side because there's more light, because the sun's going down over there. There, we got a little bit more light on this side. Well, I think that's going to do it for this video. We've got basically the structure is closed in. Doors and windows are coming this week. I failed to mention that. We're not going to have the big door yet. Apparently that's still, we're hoping to have that before Christmas. He said he's just going to board up the opening, so it's no big deal. As far as the roof is concerned, he doesn't know if he's going to do it or if he's going to contract it out. So we'll have to see what's going on with that there. All right, well, anyway, please leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about this series. Yeah, the weather is not good. It's cold too. As soon as that sun goes down, it's easily probably 10 degrees Celsius, -10. And so anyway, Like I said, leave a comment down below and hit that like button as well. That certainly helped out. And of course, this is just bonus content. This isn't my regular content for my channel. It's just to show you guys the workshop. And I'm hoping you guys are really enjoying the series. Anyway, we'll see you at the next one. Have a good one.